And was the gang in that case YSL? Tell the police on August 5th, 2015 that usually Woody and Motum do all the shooting.
You claimed that the police just came and got you. They wanted to talk to you. You didn't ask to speak to them.
Well, as you know, you contacted us. You want to come down here and make a statement?
Investigator Gaither say that you wanted to come down here to make a statement about these cases we have.
Yes, but y'all put a autistic junkie in the interrogation room and expecting him to be honest.
The bottom line is you were desperate to get out.
You think people with autism can't tell the truth?
Without any hope of getting out, isn't that correct? You wanted to have that meeting on August 5th, 2015, didn't you?
Really? Yeah.
You wanted to talk to the police. You were sitting without bond, facing 189 years.
If you're new, make sure y'all hit that notification bell, that like, share, comment, and subscribe. Grab a seat. We finna dig deep. What's up, YouTube family, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Jay, and man, this week in the Young Thug YSL RICO trial, we definitely had a few game-changing moments and major twists. From the state holding their star witness in custody, to even the same star witness testimony derailing the state. We watched the defense actually poke holes all through this case, and man, at this point of the trial, are we all really still waiting on RICO to be proved by the state? Did the state actually have it wrong when it came to the relationship between Young Thug, Lil Wayne, and Rich Homie Quan? Grab a seat as we recap some of the biggest moments from this week. But before we dig deep, y'all definitely subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Tap that notification bell so you'll get the drop when we drop. Whether you a fan of Young Thug or a fan of the state, fan of the legal system, or just a fan of the case, tap that like button. It actually helps the channel continue to grow. Man, y'all know the vibes. Grab a seat. We finna dig deep.
Good morning, Mr. Zachary. All right. You're talking kind of low, and if you don't mind, just leaning into the microphone. I'm going to try and get through this pretty fast, okay?
Yeah.
All right. We talked yesterday about slime, and you said that you weren't slime back in 2015. Do you consider yourself slime today?
No.
No? Okay. For the record, he shook his head no.
I said no.
I said no. Okay. At the time in 2015, if we were talking about Rock Crew and YSL, Rock Crew and YSL, you would consider the same thing, right?
I don't know.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Did the tension between YSL and If Gang escalate after Woody and Moontoon shot at Kale?
I don't know.
So this week, the state has been laser focused on one thing, proving that YSL is just not a record label, but also an organized criminal street gang responsible for violent crime, especially when it came to the demise of Big Nut. Now, for those who don't know, Big Nut's demise is one of the key moments in the state's case, and they're trying to link YSL and Young Thug to the alleged incident. Now, the prosecution is putting the pressure on the state star witness to spill little details, but ask yourself, has he already said too much too soon?
The night that Donovan Thomas got murdered, January 10th, 2015, Shannon and Yak were the two who first told you that they caught Nut down bad, correct?
No, I lied.
Okay. Did you tell Detectives Gaither and Dennis that they told you that first?
I think I did tell him that.
Okay. And they both told you that it was Shannon, Yak, Nard, Duop who caught Nut down bad and killed him.
I lied.
Okay. You and Shannon were at Thug's condo when you were talking about how they killed Nard. Is that right? I mean, how they killed Nut. Is that right?
I lied. If you would have checked and investigated, y'all would see I was in the hospital.
Okay. And when you say you were in the hospital, are you saying you were in the hospital on January 10th, 2015?
Earlier that day, yes. And then I went home. I was asleep.
Okay. Shannon go to leave and to see a girl while you were at the condo.
Where is Lee?
I'm sorry?
Where's Lee?
What
is Lee?
did he leave? Did he get up to leave?
I wasn't there. I
Okay.
told you.
All
If
right.
y'all would have did y'all investigation for real, y'all would see.
Okay.
I was not sick in the hospital earlier that day, so I couldn't have been there.
Okay. Okay. Did you tell Detective Gaither and Dennis that y'all noticed Shannon's gun was out of bullets?
No, I was just looking to blame Shannon because we never really get along.
Okay. Did you learn from Shannon and Yak that Nard had an AK-762 at the time that Donovan Thomas was killed?
Nah, Let's dig a little deeper. Now, this star witness actually has immunity from the state, which means anything he says can't be used against him. So you'll think he'd be spilling all the little details, right? Well, wrong. Even with that immunity deal on the table, he's playing it cool on the stand, dodging direct questions and forgetting key details. It's almost like the state is playing chess while he's playing checkers. But ask yourself, did his immunity deal actually help him save his fate? Or was this just another chess move from the state as they gather more details from Lil D to build another case? Let's dig.
I was just lying because I knew I had 7.62. I really ain't no gun, so I was just lying.
Okay. Did you tell Gaither and Dennis that Nard had this AK-762 during the murder of Donovan Thomas?
I told him, but I was lying. I was going through all type of stuff, just mad.
Did Shannon and Yak tell you that Shannon had a XB-45 at the time or
No.
during the killing of Donovan Thomas?
No, Shannon or Yak never told me nothing about no killing. I was just lying.
Did you tell Detectives Gaither and Dennis that Shannon had the 45 XB
No,
at the time
I was just
that he
lying.
killed Nut?
If I did, I was lying. I know I came back later on and told them that I was lying on Shannon and he had nothing to do with it.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that quickly. Now, did Shannon and Yak tell you at Thug's condo that they took the guns and the car to OG Bentley's spot?
Why we gotta keep talking about deceased? I don't like talking about Bentley.
Shannon and Yak Shannon began telling you exactly what happened when they killed Donovan Thomas after he had to ask Montun for the gun because his was out of bullets. Is that right?
No, I lied on Shannon. I didn't see Shannon till the next morning.
Did you tell the police that Shannon and you began talking about the murder of Donovan Thomas after Shannon had to ask Montun for his gun?
Yes, I told the police that, but I was lying.
Okay.
Now, here's where his testimony takes a wild twist. Now, despite all the pressure that the state is allegedly trying to put against this witness or on the witness isn't tying any of the defendants directly to any of the crime. Now, he's not saying Young Thug or anyone else on trial was involved in the actual incident, but the states keep pushing and pushing the narrative, trying to get any sort of admission or connection to further that narrative. But ask yourself, from what you see so far, do you see RICO? Have you found RICO? What about furtherance? What about the conspiracy? Let's dig.
Did Shannon tell you that he and Yak were going to pick up Yak's girl, Bushi? They were going to meet Bushi, but they seen Nut.
Shannon never told me nothing. Shannon don't even talk.
Did Shannon tell you that they then rolled back around and started shooting at Nut?
No, Shannon never told me nothing. I keep telling you, the man don't even talk for real.
Is it true that Shannon nor Yak ever mentioned that Kel was on scene or that they saw Kel outside with Nut?
Shannon and Yak never told me nothing. I told you I got caught with a gun that had 100 shooters on it, and I was just looking at it like shit. I ain't know Shannon like that anyway.
Okay. Did you tell the police that Shannon and Yak never mentioned Kelvin Watt being on scene?
I don't know if I did.
Did Shannon and Yak tell you that part of the reason that they shot Nut was because they believed that during a gang meeting on MLK, an IF gang meeting, Nut put YSL and 30 Deep on a plate, or meaning Nut gave the green light for members of IF gang to harm members of YSL and 30 Deep?
Shannon or Yak never told me nothing.
Did you tell the police that that is what they told you?
I think I did, but I was lying.
Okay.
Here's where it gets interesting. This witness who's up on the stand has provided several details to the detectives over the years about the alleged incidents connecting YSL to these alleged crimes. Now, the state has still yet to prove the actual connection with YSL and Big Nut, but ask yourself, is there a specific reason why the state keeps circling back and not letting up? Let's dig.
After Nut was killed, did you get shot at by IF gang on Empire Park off of Cleveland Avenue?
No,
Did you tell the police that IF gang shot at you at Empire Park off Cleveland Avenue and that it was a retaliatory shooting?
if I did, I was lying.
Okay. Did you tell the police as well that you learned that it was IF gang only after D and Thug got on Twitter and started tweeting?
I ain't never saw them tweet on Twitter, nothing like that before, so I had to be lying.
Okay. Did D and Thug get on Twitter and start tweeting? We shoot at them. They make a police report. They shoot at us. We say nothing. Something of that effect.
Who said that? Who made that?
Did you tell the police about that?
I don't know.
Okay. Did you, Shannon, D, Woody, and Yak go to Miami the morning after Donovan Thomas got murdered?
We went to Miami. I don't remember if it was the morning after.
Okay. Did you tell the police that you all went the morning after?
I told you we went, but I don't remember if it was the morning after.
Okay. Did you, Shannon, D, Yak, Nard, and Woody stay at Birdman's?
We stayed somewhere. I don't remember. I think we stayed at a hotel. I don't remember.
Did Thug act normal while you all were in Miami?
How you post that?
Did you tell the police that he acted normal?
I'm saying, why wouldn't he act normal? What he did?
Did Thug ask Yak and Shannon and Nard why they killed Nut while you were in Miami?
No.
Did you tell the police that Thug acted normal and asked them why they killed Nut while you were in Miami?
I said that because they kept trying to make it seem like Thug had something to do with that. And I was mad at Shannon. Well, I wasn't mad. I just ain't like him.
Did Shannon and them, in your words, tell Thug that it was because Nut said it to go and gave a green light for YSL and 30 Deep members to be harmed?
I told them whatever to put the blame on Shannon.
Okay. And is it true that that is what Shannon said?
No.
Did Woody shoot up Lucci's studio on Metropolitan?
I don't know.
Did you tell the police that you all suspected that Woody shot up Lucci's studio on Metropolitan?
I told the police that because I know I had got caught with a gun that's had a lot of those shootings on it, but they said it in my preliminary hearing.
Was Rich Homie Quan at the studio at the time that it was shot up?
I don't know.
Was his purple truck hit?
I don't know.
Did you observe Woody to act afraid after you all learned that a $10,000 reward was put out for whoever shot Lucci's mom's house?
No. Why would he be afraid if he didn't do it?
Did you tell the police that you observed him looking afraid?
I told you. I mean, can I answer and explain?
Yes.
I don't remember if I told the police that I know that all of them shooters had the same gun, and I got caught with the gun, so I was trying to take the heat off of me.
The night that Nut was killed, did you see Lucci and Kel pull up at Thug's condo?
How can I see them if I wasn't there?
Did you tell the police that you saw them pull up at Thug's condo?
No, I don't know.
Did you purchase a 223 for Woody for $1,000? Where Woody gave you $1,000 for the gun?
I'm on federal probation for that, so I guess, yeah.
And did you tell the police that you did?
After they told me that he had already told them that I did, so yes.
Did YSL break off from Rock Crew after YSL members believed that Boo had snitched?
I don't know.
Did you tell the police that YSL and Rock Crew were the same thing but broke off after it was believed that Boo had snitched?
Can I answer and explain?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I don't remember, but I remember when I caught my case, they kept trying to say that YSL was a game, but they couldn't prove it, so they dropped the charge. But then I got locked back up, so I just got caught with a gun, so I was just saying stuff.
And you pled to gang activity and admitted that that was gang activity then too, right?
Yes.
All right.
Can I explain?
Yes.
Because I just told you when I got locked up, before that case, I got locked up in May for a gun and gang charge. And they had already was saying all of this stuff at preliminary hearing. So when they started questioning me, I knew how to maneuver through them.
Now, the case that you pled to in the case from 2019 that's labeled 508Y, you admitted there as well.
No.
No? Okay, tell me about it.
29, when I caught my case in 2018, I never talked to no police.
Did you plead guilty to participating in criminal street gang activity?
I was down 4 years already, so they offered me time served. I had to go through 14 more months in the feds, so I might as well take the time served, the 4 years instead, 3 years with it was.
So after the state wasted a week with this witness on stand asking questions about nothing, we watched the defense strategically strike the state with over 403 Rule 403 objection. And after the state's witness gets on stand and starts to admit that he lied on Shannon and Yak, it's time for the defense to separate the state's narrative from the actual facts. Let's dig.
Diamante Kendrick's attorney, Doug Weinstein.
Yes.
Okay? I can call him Diamante Kendrick. You know him as Yak, right?
Yes.
So I'll just call him Yak when I'm having this conversation with you so that there's not any confusion, all right? You remember when you met Mr. Kendrick, when you met Yak?
I don't remember.
It was around 2014.
Yes.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, Yak isn't from Cleveland Avenue, right?
No.
You know, Yak is from Miami.
Yes.
And that he travels back and forth to Miami pretty frequently, right?
Yes.
And Yak wasn't a member of Rock Crew.
No.
But he is an artist. He does rap, correct?
Yes.
He writes music, right?
Yes.
He sings.
Yes.
He raps. And he's with the YSL record label, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to 2015. Mr. Sharp talked about that some already. Let's return then to back in that summer of 2015. You testified that you were a drug user back then, right?
Yes.
And that at the time of that interview, August 5th, 2015, and I guess preceding that, you'd been going through withdrawal, right?
Yes.
But one of the things that you said on direct was that you can't put a guy with autism and ADHD in an interview room and expect him to tell the truth. You remember saying that?
Can't. I remember saying it though.
Okay. So you think people with autism can't tell the truth?
I mean, yes, but the tension
Are you blaming your lying on your autism?
I'm blaming my state of mind in that interview I'm blaming what I said in the interview on my mind.
On your mind?
It's not my heart.
But folks with ADHD, they're capable of telling the truth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not the autism and the ADHD that made you lie in that room, right?
No.
It was you trying to save yourself, correct?
Yes, I said that.
Okay. Today, as you sit here, you're a grown man, right?
Yes.
You take responsibility for your actions, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When you talk to the police, when you talk to Gaither and Dennis in 2015, you testified that you lied, right?
Yes.
And you lied on others to protect yourself.
Yes.
And you testified you thought, F everybody else, right?
I was dead wrong, yes.
And including everybody else, F Yak, F my client.
I was especially wrong for that.
Yeah, especially wrong for that because he's sitting right over there right now on trial, right?
He never showed me nothing but like love. Like,
Now, here's where this testimony takes a wild twist. Now, despite all the pressure that the state is allegedly trying to put against this witness or on the witness isn't tying any of the defendants directly to any of the crime. Now, he's not saying Young Thug or anyone else on trial was involved in the actual incident, but the states keep pushing and pushing the narrative, trying to get any sort of admission or connection to further that narrative. But ask yourself, from what you see so far, do you see RICO? Have you found RICO? What about furtherance? What about the conspiracy? Let's dig.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you. And you testified today that you love Garlington. You remember that?
yes.
Okay. And you also testified previously, earlier today. Are you okay, Mr. Zachary?
I got headaches. I'm okay.
I'm sorry. I'm going to try to speak a little quieter then. I don't want to
Nah,
make
it's
it.
okay. I get them. I get them. It's okay.
Do you need any medication?
No, I'm
Water
okay.
or anything?
No, I'm good. I will
All
get
right.
them.
Okay. If you have any issues while I'm asking you questions that make it difficult for you to answer, just let me know, okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Anyway, you testified that you love Garlington, right?
Yes.
And earlier you testified that you lied because Garlington came to you with a play.
Yes.
You testified also that you don't want to name folks. You don't want to lie on folks from Cleveland Avenue, right?
Yes.
And Yak's not from Cleveland Avenue. So you can lie on him, right?
Yes.
And your play that Garlington came to you with, that play was to name Shannon and Yak as being involved in the murder of Nut.
It really wasn't like Garland told me like what somebody else had implicated him in and wanted him to do.
Yeah. But in that interview, you lied and you said that Yak was involved in the murder of Donovan Thomas. You told the cops that.
I lied.
You lied. And when you lied and you told them that, they didn't dive in and ask you details of that at all, did they?
No.
And you remember testifying that you're cool with Copeland, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, all right. You're cooler with Are you cooler with Copeland than you were with Yak?
I don't even remember. But
Okay.
Copeland,
Well,
I met Copeland first, so
Yeah. And you testified that you didn't hang out much with Yak back then. You said you didn't hang out often. You remember that?
yes.
Okay. You also said, just tell me if you remember testifying to this. Yak never told me nothing. You remember saying that?
He never.
Yak never told you he was involved in the Donovan Thomas murder.
No.
So you just made all that up.
Yes. I told y'all that. See, I don't know like if they ever got, but I done told my lawyer like when they came with deals and stuff, I was locked up. Like, I was lying. Like no, that's why I never took no plea or nothing. Like I'm on probation, got nothing to do with this or nothing.
I understand. But you're sitting here today, right?
Yes.
And my client Yak is sitting over there, right?
Yes.
And you're not on the indictment.
No.
So it worked out okay for you.
No, it didn't.
Didn't. It didn't work out okay for Yak, did it?
No.
You said you didn't believe those guys, meaning Yak, Shannon, and the others, did it.
I'm gonna answer you and I'm gonna explain.
Go ahead.
Yes, because yes, I said that, but I had already like told the lawyer. That's why I told y'all like I don't know how I ended up in there.
I understand. Thank you for
I
that.
had been telling them like already that I was lying.
Yeah. And when they asked you who you thought did it, you said that you thought Kenneth Copeland did it.
Yes. But
Never mind.
So let's dig a little deeper. What's the real game here? Now, I'm actually starting to wonder if the state is actually setting this witness up. Now, they did actually give him immunity, as we all know, but they've essentially got him in a corner. Now, he can't be charged, but the more he talks, the more the state can actually piece together their theory and narrative. Now, this witness actually think that he's off the hook, but in my opinion, the state is actually using him as a pawn to get to the bigger piece. Ask yourself, what was so special about this witness and his testimony that the state actually offered him immunity? Let that sink in. And to dig a little deeper, ask yourself this, is the state building another case for the ones that took immunity deals from the state? Now, let me be clear. I do not believe that the feds will actually touch this case, but think about the witnesses that are taking the stand. Have they opened up another pathway for the state? Now, we've actually watched the defense poke holes all through the state's narrative this week with this witness and this case. From YSL Steele to Matt Shaw, even down to attorney Weinstein and Yak. Ask yourself, was it the state that actually caused that accident to throw the trial off track? And even after watching Weinstein tear the witness apart, does it not make you want to say free Yak? And is this case really about justice or the judicial process of get back? And if the state is correct that YSL is allegedly responsible for a lot of demise and families that shed tears, then ask yourself this, why did they allow this to continue for almost 10 years? We're clearly watching the state present a case without motive, furtherance, or foundation, not to mention they've still yet to prove the YSL conspiracy organization. So who looks like more of a game, YSL or the state? And this process of justice that we are witnessing is actually showing that you're guilty until proven innocent, according to the state. So what does that exactly leave us with this case? Now, in my opinion, the state didn't get any further proven RICO or furtherance, gang activity, motive, or foundation than they were with the last 8 witnesses. Now, it's interesting that, again, we're still sitting there watching the state actually play the victim, when in reality, they're the ones who's responsible for actually stopping all of this corruption that's in the system. Now, Lil D actually came up on the stand and didn't help the actual state, but in my personal opinion, I can't say that he really helped the defense also. Now, he did actually create separation from these defendants with the actual case and the evidence that's been proved by the state. But again, we got another person that lies on the stand, and then he blamed his autism for his mistakes. Man, this case is crazy. So in my opinion, man, the state is still where they were when they started 10 years ago with this actual case. Feds won't touch it. It shouldn't even really be a state's case. This week was actually another pointless week. Wasted time for the jury, the testimony, and the judge, as well as the defendants. And again, can the state get one single person on the stand that can actually be a good witness? Record man coming from the phone company to actually ping the locations won't further anything when it comes to this actual RICO and conspiracy investigation. Man, y'all jump in the comments and let me know y'all's thoughts. Y'all enjoyed this weekly recap. I'm your host, Jay. Let me know what y'all think. If you ain't subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe to the channel. Tap that notification bell so you'll get that drop whenever I drop. And also, remember, the life you save might be your very own. Gone.